Welcome back to my channel. My name is Deji and I am a property investor. In this video I'm going to be showing you a new 5-bedroom rent-to-rent HMO that I've just picked up, and I'm also going to explain how I am turning this into a lease option agreement. So if you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button, and if you like what you're seeing, hit the like button and also hit the notification button to get an alert of all my upcoming videos. So when I first started out in property, I started by using the rent-to-rent HMO and SA model, which is serviced accommodation. The reason I did this was because, of course, I did not have the funds to start acquiring property. But the rent-to-rent model is a low-cost and low-entry model into property that gives you cash flow. And the most important part about it is that I needed cash flow, and rent-to-rent was the model that I needed. So for those who don't know what rent-to-rent is, it's when you take a property like this, so this is 5 bedrooms, off a landlord, and you take it off on a lease of about 5 years, offering them guaranteed rent, and you will then make it HMO compliant. That's with the fire doors, interlinked smoke alarms, emergency lighting. On this occasion, this property already has everything. But then what I will now do is rent it out on a room by room basis. So each tenant will pay me anywhere from £400 to £500 per room. I will then deduct the bills. I will pay the landlord's guaranteed rent, and whatever's left is my profit. So on this one, it should leave me with a net monthly profit of £900 per calendar month. But let's go have a look at some of the rooms. About it, if you're able to do this 10 times over, have 10 properties that cash flow £900 per calendar month, you're going to have a net monthly cash flow of £9,000 per calendar month. That's exactly what I did. I quickly scaled my rent-to-rent portfolio to build cash flow. And once I did that, I used the funds from the rent-to-rent business to start purchasing property using the buy, refurb, refinance strategy. So this is bedroom 1 of 5. This is a fairly good sized double bedroom. This should bring a rent of about £475 per calendar month. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to run the numbers on this property through for you. So bedroom 1 is 475 plus bedroom 2, which I put at 450, bedroom 3 is 450, bedroom 4 is also 450, and bedroom 5 is 500. Now that gives you a gross profit of £2,325. Now what you're going to do is deduct the bills of £400 per calendar month. You've got £1,925 left. Now let me take away the landlord's rent of £1,000. That gives me a net monthly profit of £925 from a property that I control for 5 years. So the way I structured this deal was fairly straightforward. The owner of the property, I've known him for a few years now. I've got a few rent-to-rents from him. He wanted about £1,100 per calendar month. I told him I can offer £1,000, and of course he knows the way everything goes. And I said I wanted some rent-free period, so I negotiated a rent-free period of 2 weeks, but he said he wanted it to start on the 1st, so I said that's fine. So I gave him £500 because the 1st is in 2 days time, £500, and I start paying on the 1st of every month. And I've got the 2-week rent-free period to get the property ready. And to be honest, I've already got 2 viewings lined up for this property, even in its current condition, because most people that come through, they know the standard that I make all the rooms, and they're gonna look pretty good once it's done. So let's see how things go. So this is the biggest bedroom. The rent on this will be £500 per calendar month. Again, we've had the carpet all ripped out, everything was old and wasn't new. So I'm gonna get a new underlay, new carpet, get the place repainted, put a feature wall up, and just make it nice for whoever takes the room, really. If I was to purchase this property, as it currently is, it's probably worth about £250,000. Now, with a deposit, that would be about £62,500. There's going to be legal, survey costs, and also stamp duty. So it's going to be well over £70,000, but for the purpose of this video, let's call it £70,000. And if I was to rent it out as a single let, it's going to get no more than £1,100 or £1,150 per calendar month. Then you're going to deduct a mortgage and deduct other things, and you're not really making much profit compared to what I've done or I'm doing with the property as a rent-to-rent HMO, and I'm making £900 per calendar month just by controlling it. So in all, I'm making more than the owner of the property off the property. Now, to be more creative, you want to try and turn a rent-to-rent deal into a lease option agreement. So this property is currently worth £250,000. So if I agree a sell in 3 to 5 years at the current value of £250,000, when it comes to the time of purchase, let's say 5 years down the line, and it's worth £300,000, I've created day one equity of £50,000 because I'm buying it at £250,000. Now, the best way of turning a rent-to-rent into a lease option is simply by communicating with the owner of the property. So you get to know what their plans are and what their thoughts are. So on this particular property, he was thinking about selling it and he was also thinking about renting it. So when we hear those two options, the best thing is to offer a lease option agreement. So he said he's open to that kind of thing. And I said, look, I'm going to offer you £250,000, but I'm going to buy it outright in about 3 to 5 years. And he was a bit skeptical at first, but then he went to think about it and he thought it's okay. And I said, of course, you're still going to get your monthly rent of £1,000 per calendar month, which works for him. So let's work out the numbers on how this lease option agreement will work. So I said I'm making a net monthly profit of £900 per calendar month. But in 12 months, that works out as £10,800 every year. Now, if I'm agreeing to purchase the property in 5 years, I'm going to times this profit by 5, giving me £54,000 over 5 years. And the deposit of this property is £62,500. So I just need an extra few £1,000s to be able to purchase this property. And the deposit to purchase this property would be £62,500. So I'm going to just add a little amount of money to be able to purchase this property. But again, bear in mind, in 5 years' time, this property could be worth £300,000. But I've locked it in day one at £250,000. So the day I complete, I've already got equity of £50,000 on this property. When you're doing a lease option agreement, you need to make sure you have a solicitor representing you as the buyer and also representing the owner of the property. So what your solicitor is going to do to protect you is put in a form RX1. Now what this is simply a restriction on the property. So while you're in agreement with the owner of the property, he cannot sell without your consent. Another bonus about the lease option strategy is, if I get the property today at £250,000 and in 3 years' time, for example, it's worth £300,000, I created £50,000 equity. But I can decide to sell this property on for £300,000 and just take the £50,000 equity and walk away from the property. So it gives me many options to play with. I should be able to show you an update on this property once it's completed, hopefully in about a week or so. But if you've liked the video so far, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, remember to subscribe and also hit the notification button to get an alert of all my upcoming videos.